Hello school leaders. NEP gives a lot of importance to AI and the internet in 21st century education. But we at iMature believe that AI and internet are not just important, they are God-level forces which will dictate the very survival of your school. You cannot lead a school successfully without thoroughly understanding the combined effect of NEP plus AI plus internet. The 20 questions of this toughest exam for Indian schools will test your clarity and prepare you to lead the inevitable transformation of your school. Let's try to answer question number 15. Explain in detail what are the strengths and weaknesses of your school for ensuring effective teaching of the subjects, skills and capacities listed in question number 14. Hope you have completed the document which we introduced in question number 14. This question is about doing a SWOT analysis of your school, that is strengths, weakness, opportunities and threats analysis of your school. The existing school system cannot even dream of teaching these skills which are absolutely essential for students to survive and succeed in the 21st century world. That's because the current system, unfortunately, is optimized for stopping students from developing these 4 Cs. Keeping quiet in the class is encouraged and active discussions are discouraged. That kills communication skills. And by the way, fluent English is not equal to communication skills. Almost entire school education is about beating every other classmate in some competition. That's poisonous environment for collaboration skills. Creativity requires lot of space for original thinking and lot of exposure to the real world. School system discourages both. It encourages following instructions and isolating oneself from the real world to focus on studies. Critical thinking emerges from asking a lot of whys and questioning the established norms. Schools force students to strictly follow a predefined syllabus and asking why is usually discouraged. So, this system needs transformation, not small changes. Therefore, you need to look at SWOT of your school's preparedness for transformation, not the SWOT of your existing system. Let's begin. We will keep this exercise simple without getting into the MBA-like explanations of SWOT analysis. Whatever is inside your school system becomes your strength or weakness. Whatever is outside your school system becomes a threat or opportunity. I have created a simple document which has 2 pages. First one is for strengths and weaknesses and the second is for threats and opportunities. You can fill the sections with plus or minus signs and get a decent overview of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats on the path of transforming your school. On the first page, you will see 3 sections: decision-making capability of school management, capability to communicate with parents and teachers' learning capabilities. On the second page, you will again see 3 sections: acceptance of changes among parents community, transformation support from government and competition from other schools. In each of these blanks, put a plus if you think it is strong, a double plus if you think it's very strong, put a minus if it's weak or a double minus if it is very weak. Let's look at every section. Under capability of school management to take decisions, you have to consider all the people who are involved in taking major decisions for your school, such as the school owners, the principal, etc. For each of the to-dos, think how strong or weak is their clarity on why this thing should be done, their willingness to do this thing on high priority and spend money on it. Under capability to communicate with parents and convince them, you have to assess how strong are the capabilities of school leaders, teachers and the marketing team to communicate with the parents and convince them about the importance and compulsion of bringing major changes in the school system. Under capabilities of teachers to learn, you have to assess for every teacher how strong is their capability to learn these 5 things. On the second page, we look at opportunities and threats. Here you have to consider the external aspects such as the parents, government and schools which are your competitors. Under Level of awareness among parents, you have to assess how strong is the awareness among parents about NEP, NCF, the subject called digital citizenship and internet maturity, about AI and the trends of the job market. This will help you to understand their level of acceptance for the major changes you are planning to roll out. Under access to partners and mentors, you have to assess how strongly your school is connected with external experts who can handhold your school during this transformation phase. Under capabilities of your competitor schools, you must gather intelligence about what your competitor schools are doing about NEP plus AI plus internet. If you find that they are strongly moving on the path of transformation, you should be very relieved, not worried. Let me explain why. In times of disruption, businesses cannot fight for market share. They have to fight for staying relevant in the market. When your competitor school is adopting DCIM, flip teaching, project-based learning, etc., it is, first of all, a validation of your own transformation plans. Secondly, it will make it easier for you to convince the parents community about the necessary changes if similar changes are being brought in other schools. This takes away a lot of burden from your shoulders. You might think all this is fine, but when parents are happy paying the fees today, why worry about transforming our school? If the customer is happy, why change the product? If the customer is happy, why change the product? The makers of BlackBerry, the king of smartphones in the world, asked the same question and decided not to change. Not to take Apple's iPhone seriously, not to acknowledge the rising wave of touchscreen smartphones. By the time they decided to enter the touchscreen phones market, it was too late. By 2016, the king was dead, 0% market share. That's precisely what I call the BlackBerry situation. If you are only looking at parents' demands of today, you are not acknowledging NEP plus AI plus internet as the biggest wave in your industry. If you are not willing to start the transformation of your school today, you are doing exactly what the decision makers at BlackBerry did. I see thousands of private schools shutting down in the next 3 to 7 years period by falling into the BlackBerry trap. You have to decide and act today in 2024 to remain out of that list.
Dear educators, it is my professional duty, like a doctor, to warn you that if you don't take NEP plus AI plus internet readiness on high priority, your education career or business could possibly end before 2030. You are most welcome to discuss your action plan with me.